Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Daily Briefing. Thank you all for making the time to be present for this session. Thank you all for taking the time as well to engage with your communities, engage with people around your community, to introduce them to this movement, which we are seeing great developments and great progress in different areas. I want to, we are going to get into a few things today, but, Dr. Linus is going to do the introductions while I get myself sorted out. I'm not quite in a stable environment right now, but I'm in the next 5 minutes, I should be. So just as Dr. Linus goes through his introductions, I'll be trying to set myself up in a more stable environment. Dr. Linus?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother B, and a great welcome to everyone to today's session. As I highlighted earlier on, let me just see if I can mute everybody. Just 1 second. Okay, we do apologize for the fact that we've missed a number of sessions. A lot of messages have started streaming in already. People are wondering whether the daily sessions have been suspended or not. The answer is no, they are not. We've had some technical issues and challenges the past few days and haven't been able to connect, and we do apologize for that. One of the things that we always have to remind ourselves, of course, is that we are gathered to address two problems. And every time we think about it, every time we look at the problems, every time we speak to people from the continent across the 54 countries within continental Africa, every time we encounter the challenges of individuals who are aspiring to just live their lives the best way that they can, and the challenges that they face to transact and participate in the real economy in an inclusive fashion. Every time we are confronted with those challenges, we look at ourselves and look at the movement and then realize that what we are doing is actually a must-have. It is a must-have in a sense that we need to address the age-old problem of exclusion that has plagued the continent for many, many, many generations. And the sad reality and the eye-opener is that if we do not do anything to stop that kind of exclusion, then nothing will happen. Then we run the risk of just letting it carry on for another few hundred years, running the risk of letting poverty be passed from one generation to another, running the risk of us being part of a common market, but yet not being able to participate in it, one of the largest single markets in the world, running the risk of getting to a point where we create and find ourselves within yet another paradox. And the first, of course, is we all know that the continent of Africa is the richest in the world. That is undisputed. But we all also know that it also contains some of the poorest people that some of us have experienced in our time. We know that the opportunity to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich, between the excluded and the included, that potential to bridge that gap is huge. We know that would have phenomenal impact on humanity, not just within continental Africa, but the world over. And so that's why we continue to gather to address the problem of inclusion. So we have a common ecosystem that individuals and businesses can have access and be able to trade and exchange value with each other in real time. That word, in real time, is very important because today we all know time is money. We all know that if it delays a business to execute a transaction, then that adds other costs onto the processes that that business finds itself operating within. And it is a collective responsibility for us to do all that we can to make sure we can change things in our time and also create a good and solid foundation for others to build on in the future. Without that sacrifice, without taking those steps, nothing will ever change. So that's why we gather. And we also know that it is efficient to have a common instrument for exchanging value. So within the community, we want people to be empowered to participate and empowered to use a common instrument of exchanging value in real time. Now, given the context of the economic environment and the economic circumstances that many within continental Africa find themselves, for example, out of the 54 countries, of course, we have over 40 different currencies. And that in itself poses a big challenge. I think many of us know that if you leave one country within continental Africa and step outside its borders, and you are carrying the currency for that country, the chances are that you wouldn't be able to get its value's worth in trading and exchanging value with others outside of that country. And so it's about time that we take these things seriously, particularly at a time when we are talking about a common market, the African Continental Free Trade Area. We cannot leave 91% of the people who today are excluded in many individual countries within the continent outside of what is clearly one of the biggest wealth creation opportunity of our time. It just makes sense for the good of all humanity that the situation within the continent, that of particularly exclusion and ease of trading and exchanging value with each other, that those two key problems are addressed. And as a community, that's what we are committed to doing and achieving in our time. While we embark and continue on that journey, we will make sure that we create systems and infrastructure that can enable the ability for people to carry on using the kind of medium of exchange that they use in their respective countries within our open ecosystem that lends itself naturally for using the common instrument for exchanging value for all. Within our ecosystem and our community, that common instrument is the African Kingdom's Lumi. And so the journey continues. The hard work and dedication that is shown all across the globe by ordinary people like you and I on this call today, who have come to the realization that they have to do their bit in order that we have a massive collective effort to bring change in our time and to impact millions of lives well into the future. That's why we are here. And so the road ahead is a challenging one, no doubt. Let no one make any mistakes and tell you it's all going to be a bed of roses and it's going to be easy. But one of the resolves that we have is that as those challenges come, we will work around them, we will go over them, we will go through them, But we will keep going because it is so important that in our time, this movement continues strong and that we solve the two critical problems of exclusion and the use of a common instrument of exchanging value in order to improve the efficiency of doing business and trading with one another. There are some amazing ideas that we are still working on the background, which we will increasingly bring those to the fore that will drive both confidence in the way people exchanging value and to drive trade. But those are important. The responsibilities to make change and to ensure that we provide answers to those solutions or to those two problems is completely ours. And that is what this movement is about. That is what makes it so strong. I thought I'd give that background for some of our friends, brothers and sisters who are joining us for the first time. Today, we're going to spend more time to talk about how we are engaging with the local currency transaction capability in Senegal, working with local partners, and a dedicated team of local agents who are doing everything that they can to ensure that their effort can have the desired impact that it needs to have in order to deliver opportunity, deliver access to transacting capability in an unparalleled fashion, but at the same time, create an equal playing field where everyone can earn the social income that is built into the way that the open ecosystem actually operates and includes everyone in participating in gaining and returning value from participating in it. And so welcome.
Yeah.
Brother Mbi, you're there.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much. I think I'll just take a few minutes just to introduce as well. I see that we have quite a lot of people of, who are French speaking. We've spent a good part of this afternoon working with the agents in Senegal. We have now upwards of just about 200 agents that are fully ready, and they have been undergoing a training now for the last possibly, I think, 10 days. And they have a few days to go before they get unleashed, onto the market in the different communities in Senegal, right across the country. And every time we talk about what is happening there, the initiatives that are being done on the ground are very, very encouraging for all the other countries. And we would keep sharing what is happening in every country as we engage in this process. Donc, bienvenue à tout le monde qui est là et enchanté de vous avoir ce soir dans le briefing quotidien. Just for the benefit of everyone who is in the meeting, I have had to move to, I don't have power. I've had to move somewhere which is very unstable. I'm probably going to get cut off again soon, but at least we would have gone through a few of the elements that we have planned for this evening. Donc, nous avons, comme indiqué, le modèle de transaction à monnaie locale en XOF est bien en cours, comme pour tous ceux qui étaient dans notre séance cet après-midi, vous avez vu, et pour tous ceux qui n'ont pas vu, qui n'étaient pas dans notre séance cet après-midi, vous aurez l'opportunité de voir. Donc, si vous avez la possibilité, si vous êtes ici ce soir, on va vous montrer un certain nombre de transactions. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous allons regarder un certain nombre de choses. Première chose, comment activer un compte. Deuxième chose, comment comment ouvrir une boîte email ou bien comment acheter ou vendre une boîte email en tant qu'agent, et puis comment faire une transaction normale et comment envoyer une facture ou bien payer une facture qui vous est envoyée. So today we are just going to look at a few things that we have implemented on the system for the local currency experience, and we would explain, what the rationale behind each of those components are. The first thing we are going to look at is how someone in the local environment, how the account of someone in the local environment is being activated. We would use practical example, people whose accounts are ready for activation, that we have completed the process. We've just kept a few so that we can use it for the demonstrations that we are undertaking at the moment. And then we've also implemented a local currency purchase of email for the XOF region. And that is actually very fascinating because it breaks away from some of the norms that we have set in place under the other mailbox purchases that we have. Okay, and what this does is that it sticks to the principle of a 50% split between the agent and the system or the platform, and gives the agent the possibility to be able to activate a mailbox, but then keep 50% of the returns. And it's a very, very hands-on return for the email activation. And then we'll also show you two transaction possibilities. First one is just to make a regular payment on the system. And then the second one is how you can send an invoice in the local currency and how it can get accepted. I'm going to do this with, we're going to work with the leader, one of the leaders in Senegal, Tierno. Tierno, j'espère que votre machine est prête et que vous êtes disponible pour les transactions. Comme ça, nous allons commencer. Allô, Tierno?
Allô?
Oui, je vous entends maintenant. Oui, vous êtes prêts?
Ok. Je peux...
Préparez-vous.
D'accord. Attends. Continuez d'abord.
D'accord. Oui, préparez votre machine. Okay. So, Dr. Linus, do you want to take us through the activation? I'm just going to display it on the screen and you can just talk us through it.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, we can do that.
I'm going to share my screen and let's get going. Okay. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen now. So you can just talk through it while I share.
Okay. Okay. It's
okay.
Okay. So the first thing is that each account has to be explicitly activated for the local currency transactions. And the activation process takes the form of where the local financial institution or partner requires a fee to be paid, then that fee has to be paid before the account has to be activated. And then the capability to activate further accounts would then be available only to agents, okay? Nobody else who is not an agent and who hasn't met the conditions of registering as an agent would be able to activate any other person's account for local currency access. You have to go through an existing network of agents, and we will grow this network to thousands if we have to. At the moment, over the last few days, when I say to thousands, of course, it will depend on in the country. Some countries are more populated and more vast than others, and you might actually need a much larger foot soldier. Whereas in some countries, a much lower number might work. But we have to take that kind of approach, because as we all know, that in some countries, the problem is it affects over 91% of the population. And if we really need to create an ecosystem that can reach every household, we need to be quite aggressive in our approach and also very innovative at the same time. And so what Mozambique is looking at is an account that is already activated for local currency services in Senegal. And so a customer who wants to, an agent who wants to activate another account would simply go in and do a transaction to system. Now, there are a number of transactions that are available to system. So this is when it becomes so important to pay attention, because many of these transactions will begin to be listed side by side. In this particular case, the one that you are all familiar with is the one with a tick against it, where you can actually pay for a mailbox completely in AKL from your SWIFT account. You put 20 AKL, you put a request in for a mailbox, it goes into the back office, it gets processed by the transactions processing team, your mailbox gets activated and you get it. Now, if you are in Senegal and you want to activate the other system transaction that you also see there is the transfer to transact. Many of you have been doing this already and are very familiar with those two. Now, the third one, which is XOF service activation, that will only be available to those agents with a XOF account. So if you are outside of Senegal, or even if you are outside of Senegal and you don't have a XOF service activated on your account, then you will not see this. But why might it be important for somebody to be outside of Senegal to be able to have this? So let's take somebody who is living outside of Senegal, but they do regular business transactions with people in Senegal using the local currency that is used in Senegal. That kind of individual might decide to opt to have the XOF service activated for them. And as long as the local partner institution is happy to do that and provide that service, then they should be able to get it and then have a complete local currency experience wherever they are with XOF. To activate that, you simply, again, Brother B, let's start from the beginning. You would click on system payment. Your screen has disappeared. Hello?
Okay, I'm going back.
Okay.
I'm sharing it again.
Thank you. So with that background explanation done, we would now just go through the process very quickly. So you'll go to system payment. You click on under account system payment, or you have to log in, sorry. Now, once you are under system payment, you then have to select, for activation in Senegal, it is 15,000. That is the amount that you have to enter. In the same way that you enter 20 AKL if you are buying a mailbox. The activation is 15,000. So you'll enter 15,000 there. And then you select the XOF activation service. The moment you select that, the system will then prompt you for the SWIFT ID that needs to be activated for the XOF service. All you have to do is enter it. Okay, so if you are doing this for a customer, then the customer will give you their SWIFT ID that needs to be activated for the local service. Now, it is important at this point to state that this process will be exactly the same as we move to different countries, so that when it comes to Nigeria, you will see exactly the same interface, but it will be NGN service activation, for example. Okay, so Brother B, at this point, if you want to put a Swift ID in, you can go ahead and we can actually complete the process. But I should then point out that you see the checkbox on the bottom left. That checkbox allows you, the agent who is activating that account for local service, to just simply tick a button or tick that checkbox in order to activate a mailbox. So it says activate mailbox. And that is if the customer whose account is being activated doesn't already have the Swift mailbox, then that option can be ticked. Then when that happens, out of the 15,000, the 5,000, which would have been a deposit in the customer's account, 2,000 will be taken off in order to activate, in order to have the mailbox created. The process in the background would result in the mailbox being created. Their account will be credited with the 5,000 initial deposit, and then the 2,000 payment for the mailbox will be taken out and used to finance the purchase of the mailbox. For the mailbox, the agent who is activating it is 50-50. So out of the 2,000, they will keep 1,000. Now, what this means is that instead of the traditional way of, first of all, buying the mailbox and then activating, because this process allows the payment to be collected directly from the customer who wants their mailbox activated, the agent still gets 50% of the amount that is paid, even though they did not actually explicitly have to buy the mailbox to resell. So it is very efficient. And out of the balance, which is the 10,000, which is the fee, is then split in such a way that the agent that is doing the activation will receive 16% of that. So when you activate one account, that'll be 1,600. If you add the mailbox there, that's an extra 1,000. So that gives you 2,600 instantly. So what Bodambi is going to do now is just go through that spreadsheet and show you what the numbers really look like if you activate one account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts, and so forth. Now, many of you would recall that we built the social income model together during one of these daily sessions, where we use almost like Lego to put together the various pieces of the network that actually generate value. And now, after building that model ourselves, which was actually just based on registering 4 people and the 4 people going to register 4 more, we created the diagram that many of you would have seen around a few times. But you can get this into multiple dimensions when you start talking about a tree of 5, of 10, of 20, of 100. And there are members of the community who have registered people in their thousands. It is actually quite phenomenal. This has taken quite some time to build. It is in place. It is working. Some of you will testify to actually being the beneficiaries to this social income model. And that is now we want to unleash this in the local currency context so that, one, people can have a tool side by side that they can start using or finding mechanism to trade the Lumi with their local currency if they want. But at the very least, during the by earning some social income in the local currency transactions, they can go and buy bread immediately and feed their families, right? That becomes quite critical. So Brother B is going to go through that again. Many of you would remember we actually built this model here together. Are there people who are present here on the day that we were building this together? Anybody who recalls being part of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So very
We
good. So
want
Brother B,
more.
please just go through it again and explain before we look at the numbers.
Okay. So what we have is this model here. And this model is just restricted for people, right? The principal here is you. The primary person is you as the local agent. And when you go out and you open one account, and this one account goes out and opens one account, it will just go down a straight line. But if you say you've opened one account and this, or you've opened 4 accounts rather, the 4 green dots that you see there, and each of the 4 green dots goes on to open 4 accounts, and the second line goes into open an additional 4 accounts, this is what it would present. So let me just enlarge this a bit so that for people who are on their phones, you get to see it a little bit better. So we start from you who is here. You go in and you open 4 accounts. Then let's imagine that each of the people who are the green dots go in and also open 4 accounts, which are the blue dots. And then each of the people in the blue dots go in and open 4 accounts, which are the red dots. Then each of the red dots go in and open 4 accounts, which is the black dots. And each of the black dots go in and open 4 accounts, which is the green dots. What does that do? What happens there is that you who went ahead and opened 4 accounts, you'll get tier 1 commission. Then the person in the green dot, if they go in and open 4 accounts, they would receive tier 1 commission. You would receive tier 2 commission. Then if someone, the people in the green dot go out and open for blue, the people in the blue go in and open for red, then what would happen is that the blue person is going to get tier 1, the green person is going to get tier 2, and you are going to get tier 3. And then if the red person goes out and open 4 accounts, what would happen is that the red person is going to get tier 1, the blue person is going to get tier 2, green is going to get tier 3, and then you, who is the person who initiated that movement, will get tier 4, right? And then if the black dot goes out and open 4, the black is going to get tier 1, red would get tier 2, blue would get tier 3, green would get tier 4, blue would get tier 5. One thing that we try to emphasize all the time is don't neglect tier 5, because tier 5 is almost like an explosion when you go beyond this 4, dots, right? And we will show this on the graph, on the Excel sheet that we have behind this presentation. All right, so sorry, I'm showing another Excel sheet. There are so many Excels going on at the same time. In fact, that was an online Excel, sorry. So what we are saying in essence, we're talking about tier 1, which is 16%, tier 2, which is 8%, tier 3, which is 4%, tier 4, which is 2%, tier 1, which is 1%. The total commission for every transaction, 31% is paid to the community. Okay, 31% of every amount that is fees onto the system, 31% is distributed to all members of the community who are participants in the transaction. So, as Dr. Linus was saying, when someone opens an account in Senegal, they pay 15,000. In fact, let me take one step back. What the guys in Senegal have done, we have explained this before, is that they have tax themselves to make a deposit of 20,000, 5,000 of the 20,000 goes towards a national office, which that national office, so everyone who is an agent has contributed to set up that national office. Okay. So we get a lot of people who come to us and say, can you open an office? Can you help us to register a company? A lot of the people in this community are doing it for themselves and coming back to us and say, this is what we have done. And these are this is what we are seeing in our community. How can we support to make the process go forward? And we help them to put all the tools in place. So when people pay 20,000 or 5,000 goes to
your screen sharing is on.
Yeah, I'm going to share again. 5,000 goes towards the office, the setup of the logo of the national office. We are now talking about setting up even provincial and regional offices based on those contributions that members have made onto the movement and to the national leadership. So 15,000 of that amount of money goes into the activation of that account, which is the requirement from the bank, the institution, who is our partner. So 5,000 of that is the first deposit into the client's account, and then 10,000 goes into the account opening. So let's see what that does. So let's say, I need to start from here. So this is like the seed. Let's say it's just one person who opens an account, and the amount that goes to the bank is 10K, 10,000, and this is 2,5. Okay, so you can see that this is just, am I right? No, this is
100%.
Yeah, this is 100%, not 2.5, 100%, 100%. Yeah, and so if that is 100%, one person opens the account and activates. The agent who does the activation gets 1,600. The tier 2 agent gets 800. Tier 3 agent gets 400. Tier 4 gets 200, and tier 5 gets 100. Okay, this is from one person. What it shows here is that, now let me just take it one step up. What we were showing in this image, right? Let me show you what it looks like in terms of local currency, right? So we're saying 4 people, just 4 as a seed. The total that is going to be distributed to all those who are part of this network will end up being somewhere around 198,000 francs CFA. Okay, and that will be distributed. Will be distributed to 1,364 people. Okay, now imagine that rather than just doing 4 people, you've decided to go out and do 10 people. Decided to go out and do 10 people. This is what it would look like, right? So you would immediately, after doing 10 people, you would immediately have 16,000. The people who are tier 2, 80,000 will be shared with them. Tier 3, 400,000. Tier 4, 2 million. And tier 5, 10 million will be shared, right? The total network value, the total cash that's going to be transacted It's about 12 million francs CFA. And 111,110 people will benefit from this simple 10 people that you went out and activated and encouraged to go out and activate 10 others. Just imagine that the work that you do, that you just go out and you engage 10 people, you get them activated in the local currency, and 111,000 people are touched by just that basic action that you have taken. Now, let's just blow this up, right? Let's blow this up. Let's now say, no, you didn't do only 10. We have members who have opened thousands of accounts. Let's say that you did just 100 accounts, 100 accounts. Let's see what that translates to. I'm going to move this down so that it doesn't disturb our view. In fact, it's not going to disturb our view because it's going to be in the middle. Yeah, there. Okay. So this is what will happen. Let's go right to the bottom of this. So what it means is that you do 100 people instantly, you are already making 160,000 of your own, right from the get-go. And then the rest of the people below you, 8 million is going to be distributed to them. 400 million will be distributed to tier 3. Yeah, so this is tier 1, this is tier 2, this is tier 3, 400 million. I think I need to highlight this just so that it's visible. That's tier 1. This is tier 2, which is 8 million, which will be distributed to everyone who falls within that tier 2. 400 million will be distributed to everyone who falls within tier 3. And 20 million will be distributed to everyone who falls within tier 4. And tier 5 is 1 billion francs CFA. Okay? 1 billion francs CFA. The total amount that will be distributed right around in the entire country where these transactions have taken place is 1 billion 20 million CFA. And the total number of people who will be impacted by the work that you've done, these 100 people that you've gone out and activated, it will be 10-point-something million people who will be impacted. Okay? So I don't want to belabor the point. All the point we are making is that this has already been implemented in the system. We spent quite a considerable amount of time to do this, and we have now applied it onto the local currency, and this is what the agents who are already in place now in Senegal stand to benefit. It's huge amounts of local currency. In fact, for those who are going to be active, they will be, amongst the top 5-10% earners in that country. For those who are active, they will be amongst the top 5-10% earners in Senegal. Yeah. So that is what the social income model looks like. So right now, what we want to just show you is how we activate the account. And as Dr. Linus has explained, the way we have implemented it in such a way that as we roll out into another country with a local financial institution, we are able to it just, the interface is just going to be the same. So while you are in this meeting and you are looking at it, as an agent in your own country, you would go through the same process. Dr. Linus, anything else?
Nope, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Nothing else to add. Thank you.
Yeah, so right now, so maybe what we do, Dr. Linus, maybe go into try and get us
actually, brother B, just to add to the point that, of course, those numbers you have shown are only as it relates to activating an account. But once the account is activated, then transactions would start flowing, right? And that's when the 2.5% transaction fee, which gets distributed in the same way, T1 to T5, will kick in. And so if you take the simple idea of buying a mailbox for 2,000, so the customer would actually lead to the execution of a transaction for 2,000. 2.5% of that would be the fee. And that fee would be distributed across the network, T1, T2, T3, T4, all the way to T5. So there are actually multiple streams of income that will be dependent on the transaction types that the agents and the customers within a particular local currency bucket or region can execute. And you just need to sort of get your mind out of the box a little bit and say, but what else can be done? So imagine a scenario where you have a power company that distributes electricity and people have to pay their electricity bills using the digital point of sale that we've created on the ecosystem. And it is so easy. Now, the organized community in Senegal can decide to take to themselves that we're not going to wait for somebody to tell us how to do this. We are going to start trading energy. And so what they can go and do is they'll go to their energy supplier and bulk buy energy and then retail that energy across the entire country, or help people to settle their smaller invoices as they make payments for their electricity consumption where they are. So the opportunities are there. And what we are saying is we want to create the kind of dynamic and open ecosystem that is inclusive. Okay, I know we talked about the digital point of sale last time during the last session, but what it does is it addresses the problem that we have been confronted with here during these sessions time and time again. When we've had friends from Nigeria, our brothers and sisters from Nigeria, from Malawi, from Senegal, saying they cannot pay for the mailbox because they don't have a credit card. Well, okay, you don't need a phone, you don't need a card, just use the digital point of sale so that now you can access services in much the same way. But what the community might decide to distribute using that ecosystem that now everybody can actually seamlessly pay is really down to the community and how the community is organized to access and unlock the value on whatever they want to trade and distribute amongst the community members. I just want to add that. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is so the Linus, please do me a favor, please get me agent number 200, their account number.
Okay, I'd have to go into the mailbox to look for it. So if in the meantime you want to cover something else, you can go ahead. Let me just try and log in and see if I can access it.
That's fine. I'm logged out here already. I just need to refresh and come back. So I'm sure by the time I come back, you'll be in.
All right, okay. I'm just going to go into the mailbox and I will see if I can pick that up.
Please mute. Who is that? Maimouna, coupez votre micro. Maimouna, merci. Merci. Donc, nous avons montré ce module cet après-midi à tous ceux qui étaient de la partie. Nous allons prendre le temps d'expliquer encore de fur et à mesure pour tous ceux qui sont dans la zone francophone, pour que tout le monde comprenne, pour que les gens comprennent ce qui est déjà disponible pour accéder à différents produits et services sur la plateforme. Donc, this is so what we're looking at is how to activate an account. Oh, oops, I'm going to a 503. So let me see if I can reset that. 403. Okay. So when you see something like this, 503, 403, all you need to do is just to give it a few minutes, and then you come back to it. In the meantime, I'm going to try and access a different account. Have you got it, Dr. Linus?
Nope, I'm not getting it. I'm not there yet.
Not there yet.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I think my connection is a bit.
It's fine. I'm trying to get it from here. So let's see. So it's got
Right. Which number did you say you want?
200.
Number 200. Okay, let's see. I am in.
I'm actually experiencing a 403, 503, 403.
Okay, the ID for 200 is 6295.
So hold on. I'm saying that I'm experiencing a 403.
All right. If you refresh after a couple of seconds or so, you should be able to get through.
Yeah,
maybe while you're refreshing, I should just explain. We've noticed really recently that sometimes not all the traffic that comes to our network is good traffic. Some of it is bad, malicious traffic that is intended to slow down the way that customers access our services. So we have implemented security protocols that actually filter a lot of this activity. And so you might find, just like Brother B is now trying to do multiple things at the same time and accessing different parts of the system, he's been picked up by one of those protocols, and his access is being slowed down, just to check that he's not a robot that is just trying to use productive capacity for non-productive use. Unfortunately, the downside of the upside, the advantage of doing that is that it helps us to secure the service and deliver a much better access experience for the vast majority of people. But the downside is that occasionally you might be caught and your access might be restricted, particularly at a time when perhaps you might be trying to do too many things at the same time. So we would just ask community members to just be mindful of that and just be patient. When you come across a 503 or a 403, which says that the site owner has decided to restrict your access to the site, don't worry, just give it a second or two and then try again, okay? So that's what Brother B is experiencing at this particular point in time. Hopefully it may have resolved itself by now. So, bro, you can try again.
Yeah, I just tried, but I still have a restriction. Just one moment. I'm just going to open a new browser. I'm just going to open a new browser.
I can share my screen and if
Please
that
go
helps,
ahead.
because I have.
Please go ahead. You're already
Okay.
there.
Let me try and share
Let me
my
see if I
screen.
can stop sharing. Not sharing anyway. By the way, I don't know if Sister Lumba or Brother Patrick or any of them are here today. Brother Patrick here. Sister Lumba. Okay.
Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
That's fine.
Can you see my screen? Okay, so I'll just go into that. I'll open a new tab and just go to connect. Or better still, go to a window that I had already opened. I think I should have one open already. Okay, there we are. So I'm just going to, Brother B, I don't have, you need to log in as, you need to, this is being done via Remec, right?
Okay, I hope I'm going to get in now.
Okay, so if you,
I hope I'm going to be able to get in now.
Okay, you can try. Let me stop sharing my screen. I can't do it because you need.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that access.
That's right.
It's loading. Hopefully we don't get kicked out again.
All right. You can share yours instead.
It's loading. It's loading. Maybe what we can do is we can talk about the other stuff with Tieno. Tieno, vous pouvez partager votre écran si vous avez accès. Entre-temps. And then Dr. Linus, you can push, you can send, direct payment. You can do invoice, and
yes, I can. In fact, why don't I share my screen? I can do that. So we can look at a direct payment.
I'm trying to.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that.
Maybe the first one you would look at is mailbox. Just
no, Tieno's screen is up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. While Tieno is there, why don't I send Tieno an invoice payment request?
Yes. Yeah, send him an invoice.
Okay. Let me just go back to the screen. And first of all, I'm going to.
If I get access earlier, I'm going to do the request. So.
Okay. Can I ask Tieno? Tieno, can I have a?
I've got access.
You have access. Okay.
Dr. Linus,
I'll let you do it. Yeah.
I've got access, so I can do I can just do an invoice for him.
Okay, super. Thanks.
Tieno, s'il vous plaît, please give me your ID, your agent ID. I can remember some part 7033 74
7 033
it 7 or 9?
Okay. 974.
974. There. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to send TNO a XOF member invoice for 100 francs. Okay. Just sending him a XOF. It will need a description. I would say briefing test. Okay. Yes. TNO, you can show us on your screen what has happened. Vous pouvez nous montrer.
So TNO needs to go under account and then click on invoices.
Yeah. Now TNO, va sur account et puis va sur invoices. Account, invoices, le troisième. Yeah, invoices there. So this is the invoice that I just sent to TNO. You would see here briefing test. So when he opens, it's going to ask him if he wants to pay this invoice. Allez-y. Okay. So it will ask him, do you know this invoice? Do you want to pay? If he says accept, it would settle. On my side, you can see now on TNO's screen, it's saying open, where it says statut. Statut, vous voyez statut, TNO. Statut en haut, non, statut.
C'est bon?
Dans les textes en haut.
Je passe à
statut de la transaction. Statut de la transaction en haut. Statut de la transaction.
En haut, là.
Yeah. Non, statut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Là.
4. Pas 5. Vous êtes sur 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Statut.
Là. Statut, oui. Open, oui.
Ouais, ça veut dire que c'est ouvert. It says that it's not been paid. The invoice is still open.
Brother B, let's stop there and make a quick comment. Because one of the things that happens is that, of course, in trade, you need to ensure confidence between the seller and the buyer. And at one point, the buyer is potentially unwilling, or the seller of a particular good may be unwilling to ship the good unless they are paid. And the seller may be unwilling to pay for the good unless they know that they will receive the product that they are paying for. And that's why you have intermediaries that people sometimes rely on. And so that when you order your item from Amazon, you are working on the basis of the confidence that Amazon will make sure that that product gets to you. But when you are having a community where you're bringing together different participants and opening up a world of trade between them, we need to have tools that can enhance confidence. So one of the things that I would hope that you can keep your eyes open for now is that in the process of this kind of invoice payment, let's assume that TNO received this invoice for something that Brother B is supposed to send to him. And so what might happen is that we now need to start thinking of other sophisticated products that can be layered on top of this process to make trading very seamless and very easy. One of them could be, what if Brother B sends an invoice to TNO for an amount that TNO doesn't have in his account at the moment? Is it possible to tie in a loan product that will give TNO the capacity to settle that invoice, give him the opportunity to sell the goods and recover the money to repay the loan? That way, he doesn't have to lock up a lot of capital as part of his trade, particularly if he is buying something that he needs to go and sell to other people to make money that can be used to directly repay the loan. So that's one component. Another component is you can start putting guarantees on top of this. And a possible guarantee could be that it is issued by another participating institution, which says, well, I will issue Brother B a guarantee which will enable him to be able to settle an invoice from another member. And I will cover that guarantee just in case the goods that he received, which he has to sell in order to make the money full, is not available on time. Then that third party issuer of a guarantee can step in and bridge that gap. Okay, these are very important innovative tools that we need to bring to our people. Those tools are today not available to the vast majority of people on the continent who want to participate in international trade. But if we have a cohesive community, then we can begin to make some of those things possible. So keep your eyes open, because there is a lot that can be done with this very simple process that we are showing you. So I just thought I'd stop there, but Brother B, maybe you want to explain that a little bit further, just in case I missed something. But there is, watch the space.
Yeah, that's fine. So what we need to do now is to go ahead. Tierno, il faut accepter la transaction. Et puis, nous allons voir que ça ne sera plus open, ça sera complété. OK, allez-y. J'espère que, I hope it has not kicked. Yeah, I would ask for Tierno's password.
Sorry.
Password, certainly. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so you can see that the status of the payment is accepted. So that transaction has been completed and the payment has been made. The person requested, you sent out that payment. Okay. So what we will do is that I'm now going to do a simple payment from this account back to Tierno's account of 100 francs CFA. And to do that, it's just a simple member payment. So what we are saying is that you can get into a restaurant and you eat and you just make a direct payment using this model that I'm going to show. You can go into, you can use it to pay for anything, a hotel room. As soon as you consume the service or you make a request and they're about to serve it and you need to pay, you can use this model to execute that payment. Okay. So, moi, je vais partager mon écran. Il faut arrêter un peu et puis on va revenir vers toi. We'll come back to Tierno just so that I can show my screen for everybody to see how we're doing this one. This is open to all members. You are able to execute this payment as members, as agents, and whatever. Okay. Tierno, le numéro de compte, c'est 7033974. J'espère que je l'ai eu. Exact. And the amount we are going to be paying Tierno is 100. We consumed we've taken a bottle of water from his shop and we have to pay 100 francs. And that amount is in XOF. And I go ahead and I submit. Tierno would have received that amount immediately. And the payment has been done, payment has been performed. Tierno, who is sitting now in Ziguinchor in Senegal, has received that payment. Okay? Yeah, so those are some of the practical payment components that are available. I would not want us to belabor the payment element, but all of those are available. The other day, we showed this, the digital POS, the digital pay point of sale. If we go on to it, you would see that the local currency for XOF has already been implemented on that POS device as well. So transactions can now be done in XOF AKL using that POS device. As we increase in the number of countries, we are also going to add the countries that can transact using that tool over and above the capability to use the tool in AKL. I've still got 403.
Okay.
I think it's targeting me now. It's targeting me. I'm now a target.
All right. I think you've made the point very well. We can move to the next step.
Yeah. Just to say, let me just explain it in French. Donc, ce que nous venons d'expliquer, c'est les différentes possibilités de paiement. Première possibilité qu'on a utilisée, c'est le paiement de facture. Vous entrez dans le restaurant, dans la boutique, dans le magasin de quelqu'un qui fait partie du réseau. Vous pouvez le payer directement à travers la plateforme en utilisant les outils que nous avons montrés. Et il y a les outils qui sont disponibles pour tout le monde dans la communauté, mais il y a les outils qui ne sont que disponibles pour les agents. Donc, quand les agents finissent la formation, ils ont la possibilité de faire des transactions que les autres membres de la communauté n'ont pas la possibilité de les faire. Donc, nous avons montré la possibilité d'envoyer aussi une facture. Vous êtes à Dakar, il y a quelqu'un qui est à Ziguinchor, par exemple, et vous avez payé quelque chose chez lui. La personne peut simplement vous envoyer une facture comme ce qu'on a envoyé à Tieno tout de suite, de facture de 100 francs. Il a pris la facture, il a regardé tout ceci se passe sur la plateforme. Il reconnaît la facture et il a accepté. Une fois qu'il accepte, vous êtes payé. Vous êtes payé pour soit le produit ou le service que vous êtes en train d'acheter. Okay. I have a bit of a challenge. I'm going to get cut off right now with power. So crazy, man. But at least I think we've covered a considerable amount of things. Dr. Linus, maybe I can just leave you to take the questions from the 3 hands that I've seen raised here, and then we will close it there. Then tomorrow, we are going to look at the activation and the other components that we had planned to show, because I'm only getting a 403 on my side.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I think we can go straight into answering those questions as quickly as possible before Brother Mbi gets thrown out.
So the first person is Ricky Miller. Open your microphone, please. Okay, Ricky Miller is not ready. Emma, please go ahead.
Yes, greetings, everyone.
Greetings, good evening.
Now my question is about those, how those T1, T2, T3, and T5 will come in, because they are only agents who are going to be activated the account, and they are the one who will go out and activate others' account. Now, for example, I'm an agent. I have activated Samuel Mwendo account, and for example, he's not an agent, will Samuel Mwendo go out and activate another account?
No. So what Samuel Mwendo would go out and do is that Samuel Mwendo would go out and get other people to request for an activation.
Also, Sister Emma, remember,
Yes.
the process for activating an account requires activating an existing account. So
Yes.
that account will have been created in the system by somebody and potentially linked to somebody's ID. That's the possibility, okay? And if that is the case, then the T2, T3, T4 would automatically kick in. But also, that is only for the activation. Remember, once other members of the community who have the service, the local currency service activated, when they start doing transactions, their accounts were not necessarily, they were just activated by the agent, but they may not have been created by the agent, they were created by somebody else. So the concept of agent is, I know it's slightly confusing in the local context, in that the agent is somebody now within the system who has additional capabilities to process certain types of transactions, such as activate an account for another member. But they are also sitting in the system as equal participants in many other respects, particularly when it comes to the social income model.
Dr. Linus,
Okay.
That's very clear. So let me just give you an example, Sister Emma. You have already activated a lot of people's accounts. You've registered a lot of people. Samuel Mwendo, who is an agent, if he goes and activates their account in the local currency, you already did previous work on that account, you would get tier 2 income without even having done anything to the member at this stage.
Okay.
So the way it is that there are some areas where you would get tier 1 income, but there are some areas where you would get tier 2 income because you already did work for that account. There are some areas where you will get tier 3 income because you already did work for that account. You see? So, and that's how the idea is that we really need to spread this wide so that everybody who has ever participated in the system can benefit. And then we bring other people who can also benefit even more and spread it as wide as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So activating an account doesn't remove the link between that account and the social income. In fact, it doesn't touch it at all.
Yeah.
It remains the same.
Yeah. Ricky Miller, are you there? Okay, if Ricky is not there, we'll take Baji. Bonsoir, Baji.
Allô, bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir, bonsoir.
Bien, j'ai un souci. D'abord, je vais vous remercier et vous féliciter sur les efforts que vous êtes en train de faire pour que nous comprenions. Mon souci, c'est le problème de mon compte Transact. Je ne parviens pas à y accéder jusque-là.
Comme j'ai dit dans la séance d'aujourd'hui, nous allons essayer de travailler avec vous sur ces comptes-là demain. Donc, si c'est une question qui sort de ce que nous avons fait aujourd'hui, on peut regarder. Mais si c'est pour les comptes qui ne sont pas activés et tout ça, on peut regarder ça dans le séance de travail que nous aurons demain.
OK.
OK.
C'est bon. C'est bon, c'est clair.
Ricky?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Well, I think Ricky will be the last. I'm really now pressed.
Thank you. Okay, My problem is getting to my my Swifting account.
Okay.
I have I just cannot get into it. So I'm going to share a screen so you can direct me. Can I do
You
that?
want to share your screen so we can guide you on how to resolve your, show us where you are, because sometimes people make a big mistake and go to different parts and say that they are trying and they are not accessing. When is the last time you accessed your account?
I tried that about Sunday.
But have you accessed the whole of this year?
Yes, when I changed the password.
Okay, go ahead, show us where you have an issue. Share your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so I usually go to login. Login Swifting.
Can you just point to it without clicking first? Where do you?
Can't hear you.
Oh, which login where? Because there are many login buttons. Login to connect, login to account.
Swifting.
Okay,
Ricky,
login to Swifting account.
Login to Swifting.
Yeah,
okay,
take your cursor, put your cursor on it. So let's see. Oh, Ricky, you are not moving. Not moving. I'm gonna get cut off now.
There you are. There you are. That's fine. Click on it.
You see.
Let's continue.
Okay, I did. Oh, come on.
Just close
log
that.
into Swifting.
Yep, that's the right place.
Okay. Don't see anything happening. I'm going to try connect.
No, just.
Pardon me?
Okay. Where are you connecting from?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay.
Okay. You still can see the screen, right?
We can see the screen. Yes, that's logging into Connect. So you put your email address and your password.
Okay.
Yeah, we have been told that it's sometimes very slow to log you in here into Connect.
Yeah.
But if you just leave it, it will get you through. This is partly because there are some checks that go on in the background when you are at this stage before it gets you in. Yeah, service unavailable. When you get that, just refresh the screen and try again. Do you get this more often? Okay. Is this what the issue is?
No, initially it was telling me wrong password until I changed the password.
Right, okay.
And this is the first time I'm getting this.
All right, what we could do is we could reset the password so that you get a new password to try with. Go back to the home page. Just go back to the home page. And just click in login to Swift account again. Or let me give, okay, yep. Just click on login to Swift account again. And just give it a, you can just refresh your screen, just refresh. Hold down and draw and push down the screen just to refresh. Okay, there you go. Now put your username, put your Swift ID there.
Wow. Okay. And the same password?
The password is not the password you use in Connect. That would be the password for your Swift account.
Okay.
If you know what that is. You press the wrong button. You press the button to register instead of the button to log in. So just go back, click the back key or the back arrow. Now, where it says, just click back, just click back on your browser back button. There you go. You see, you have two buttons. You need to submit the one directly under the login screen. It says submit. So put your password and click on that button. Now, while you're doing that, you can just, it's asking you if you want to save your password. You can save it if it's correct, or you can just deny it. Now it says invalid login, please try again. Okay, that's fine. Can you give me your Swift ID, please? What's your ID? Just read it out, it's fine.
The number?
Yes, the number.
137.
137. Yes.
536.
536.
536 9945.
536 5699. Okay, I've got that.
9945.
Ricky Miller.
5620. Yes.
Now,
29.
Ricky, do you have a Swift mailbox?
No.
Okay. Are you happy to confirm the email address on the account?
Yes.
What is it?
RICK
Yes.
HOT
Yes.
MALE
Yes.
384
Yes.
at Gmail.
Okay. Do you have access to that mailbox?
To that email, yes.
Yes. Can you log into it right now? We're going to try and reset and issue a password reset, which will go to that email address.
Okay. Mhm.
Now, we cannot guarantee prompt delivery of messages into Hotmail, Yahoo Mail, Gmail, and all that. But if it is a Swift mailbox, it is typically instant. Okay.
Okay.
But just see if there is anything in there. Sometimes they're delayed. Sometimes they go into, sometimes they don't arrive at all. Well, it hasn't come.
No, nothing yet. No.
Okay. This is outside our control.
So, okay, as soon as I get that, what's the next step?
As soon as you get that, you use the password that would have been delivered into that mailbox, and then go back to that login screen and try to log in again with the new password.
Oh.
Do you have
Okay.
you don't have a Swift mailbox?
No.
Yeah, if you got one, then that mail would have arrived already. It happens within seconds.
Okay. So I have to get in before I can set it up, right? Get into Swift before I can set it up.
I mean, depending on how you're paying for it, you can get it from another member of the community. I know, for example, Vernon just ordered quite a few. So, you know Vernon, Roger?
Okay.
Do you know Vernon?
Sure. Sure.
If you call Vernon,
Yes.
you pay Vernon for a mailbox, and he will give you one.
Okay.
What he will do
I'll
is he
do
will
that.
simply take your name and add it to the list, and your mailbox will be created from his list that he's currently putting together. If you want to buy a single one, you can go on to Connect and you can buy one. But you will not be able to buy with AKL because you need to log into your AKL account, into your Swift account.
I got you, Mr. Vernon.
All right. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. And you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. I think we should, is Brother B already gone or is still around? Okay.
I was trying to get out of sharing.
Okay. Brother, you still have your details on your screen, right? Oh, you've gotten out of the page. All right.
I think we're out of that.
Can you go back to that screen? When is the last time you've used the 44cc before? Is that right?
Well, when I did the Swifting, I got in and look at the balance and everything.
Using the 44cc?
Yes.
Do you want to try it again and see if that can?
Hold on. So you Swifting, log into Swifting?
Yes, log into Swift account. All right, just enter your number again very quickly and enter 44CC and then submit. Let's see what happens. But please contact Vernon for an email address. Your experience will be much better with a Swift mailbox. Now, if you do succeed to get through here, then what that means is that you need to ignore the reset email if it comes through later on, okay? Because it would not work.
Okay. Okay. So you say 4CC now?
44CC. Okay, now, you know, you can turn off your screen sharing and set a new password. Don't forget it this time.
Okay.
You can stop sharing. We don't need to see that.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Trying to find out how I can do that without. Oh boy.
Just stop sharing. It should work. Since you are on this page, it should work.
Okay, so I'm trying to stop share.
All right, super.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
So
I
it's
think what
off
we'll
now,
do is
right?
that should be the last question.
Apa pun? Apa? Mana apa? Apa apa apa? Apa? Yo apa?
Ricky, you can unmute and let us know how you're getting on. Ricky, are you still there? It looks like we might have lost. No, but Ricky, you're still there. I can see you. Ricky, are you able to unmute?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here.
All right. Have you gone through that step?
Yes, I'm trying to make sure I have everything right. So I'm just going to put it in again, just to confirm. Yeah, I'm going to submit now. Let's see.
It's Vernon. Oh,
There was
Vernon
an
is here.
error. They said there was an error while processing your request.
Okay, if you are still
An
on the
embedded page of account.
if you are still on the submit screen, just submit it again. It may just be because of the delay.
Okay. Same message come up. An embedded page at account. Swiffin says there was an error while processing your request.
Yeah, it looks like you've just been timed out in trying to do that because you need to do it fairly quickly. Anyway,
Okay.
I can see Vernon is here. Vernon, do you have a spare? You have a mailbox you can sell to Ricky? Vernon, I can see Vernon is on. Vernon, you are unmuted, but I can't hear you. All right, Ricky, just contact Vernon.
Okay, they say I'm going to have to change it because it expired. So
Hello?
I'm going to change it.
Oh, can you hear me
One
now?
last time.
Okay, try it again.
Yes, I forget that if I don't plug in my headset. Hello? Dr.
Yes, hello,
1 second,
Vernon.
Vernon.
I was just suggesting that perhaps our brother Ricky could contact you, unless you have allocated all your mailboxes already.
I have one for him, man. He's okay, and I'll help him later to make sure that he gets into. If we still have a problem, then we'll report it tomorrow. But as I said, maybe because it took so long to put in the password, maybe
I think so too.
that's why the system is getting these messages. But we'll check on it later. I'll check on it later for it. All right.
Wonderful.
So he's gonna get one of my mailbags. So don't worry. There
All
was
right.
a question. Yeah, there's a question I want to ask. People have been asking how much will they get when they register member, and they're waiting on me for that message. I tell them that I'm not sure. So they want to know when they register members, how much they will get to register each.
Nobody gets anything upfront for registering anybody.
Yes. Okay. Is it about the same tier one? I was wondering if it has to do with tier one. We get
tier one. Yes, tier one happens when you do transactions. The only time you get something when you activate a local service account is when there is a local partner institution and there is a service fee that is being applied to activate that local currency service. Then you get paid whatever is agreed with the local financial institution at that point. But generally, it's 16% of whatever is on the table. You get 16%. That we will not change. It will be cast iron fixed.
Okay. All right. So each member that they register through brokering, they will get 16% of
when that member does transactions which attract a fee, whatever fee is charged, 16% is theirs.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks very much too. All right. See you tomorrow.
That's super. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
I am so sorry that we have to bring the session to a close now. And my apologies that we haven't been able to get to every question this evening. Please do come back tomorrow so that we can address any outstanding questions that we haven't been able to attend to this evening. I'm taking a screenshot. I can see Ricky, I hope your question has been addressed. Gilbert, I can see your hand. Vincent Okoro, I can see yours. Ejembi, Friday, and Nenen Jude Ayo. So please, we will start with you tomorrow on the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you.
As part of the closing remark this evening, again, just a reminder, we are gathered to try and address two key problems, which are age-old problems that have plagued people within continental Africa and its diaspora. One is lack of access, and two is the use of a common instrument for exchanging value across the community. These two problems affect almost every household. In some countries within continental Africa, as much as 91% of people are affected. Today, we have a common market, the African Continental Free Trade Area, one of the largest in the world. But with over 40 different currencies, the opportunity to participate And the problem of financial exclusion will mean that the opportunity to participate will just pass many by. And as a community, we are organized, we are committed to try and bring resolution to those two problems. And we will in our time, so that we can impact a generation of people who can expand on that solution for the good of all humanity. If you think the problem is African, it is not. It affects 1.7 billion people around the world. So let's keep going. Let's make sure we reach every household. Let's include all our brothers and sisters for the good of all humanity, so that as a community, we can drive inclusive access for all and deliver the use of a common instrument for exchanging value in real time. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye and good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay, good night. Good night, everyone. Good night.
To you. May God bless us. All of us.
God bless you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Sister King. Bye-bye.